hopefully this is working. We'll find out when I get into game. I'll load up the... Oh wait, no, there's a Twitch delay. I didn't mean to... Oh, okay, we'll just stick with it for now. And then I'll edit it out later on. I'm a professional. This is what happens when I start streams at the last second.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to do it at the last second, to be fair. My CS just crashed out of nowhere. Oh, never mind, it's back.
Typical. Alright, auto direct. This is panorama as well. This looks fine.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen it.
Looks pretty swift.
Anyway, this is just to introduce the teams. So we have Loughborough Lions. We have Marky, who's a friend of ours. Player to look out for is Trout, or Trouto, he's called. He's one of the highest ranked players in FPL, in NUEL. He is, along with Ghost, who plays for... I can't remember. I'll double check with Pez on that. Tell me when you're back in. And then...
Oh yeah, I'm in.
Sweet.
Trodo. Is it Trout? Oh yeah, you've told me about this guy before, I believe.
So it's 2v1. Dr. Pessimist gets one tapped off. That was Swift. Swift end to him. I'm just going to check it's all working. I don't think it's working on the stream, so I'm going to have to just fix the window capture quick. You can give us a radio.
Oh yeah, I love doing those. So there's going to be one AK bot from, what is that name? The Serial J4. He's got the solo AK for the Loughborough Lions. Everybody else on SMGs, and the Novas. They've force bought quite a lot into this round. Not fully down to zero. Sammy's the one that's bought the lowest on $250, but he's got an MP9 in his hand, so he could make some use of it. But everybody else just sitting on upgraded pistols. There's going to be a very, very slow passive default from Loughborough Lions. They're just spread out across the map, making sure that Novas, they're not going to push aggressively into them and try and capitalize on a gap in the T side defense. But with a minute and 15 on the clock, Trouto, he's going to make his way up middle. He's going to find one straight it back. It's Nightmare finds a kill with the Deagle, but they're going onto this A-bomb site, and there's only one player that they need to find on this site. He currently sits on top of the box, and it's Sammy's with the MP9. He's gotten two with it. It's eventually taken down by Trouto, but he's done the damage that he needs to, and now it's just OK Dad and Pixel to try and make this 2v2. It is a bit of a fever dream that they'd win it, but it's at least a possible situation. Pixel gets his head ripped clean off. But OK Dad, still with the Deagle in hand, will try and make his father proud.
Yeah, we have very special names, to say the least, at Salford. Hopefully my CS will load in a second and we can get pictures.
OK Dad, he's almost won the 1v2. He brought it to a 1-on-1, but it was unfortunately stripped from his hands. The Serial J4 with that AK currently sits on 6 frags to 0.
And as I wait for stream delay, let's see if it goes in. Oh, lovely. Lovely ad on my own channel. Beautiful, I love this. Anyway, hopefully it will display through. We'll find out in a second. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it is going to come through. Anyway, so we are back. So Loughborough Lions taking the first 2 rounds. And my guns have disappeared again.
Counter-Strike is a very optimized game with no bugs that maybe happen.
Ooh, OK Dad. Head picked off from a distance. Taken down 4 versus 5. 3 versus 5. Pez falls as well. Trout peeks around the corner. Finds Nightmare. Takes off his head. Pixel and Sammy's are left. 2 versus 5. Desert Eagle and CZ and a Dream. Trying to recover what is left of this round. Highly doubt anything will come from it though.
I imagine you've seen this new sort of rare animation that the Eagle does, right?
Yeah, the spinny one. And Marky picks off Pixel to close out the round. As expected, I'm going to do a quick retry and reconnect, and hopefully that fixes the gun situation so we don't just have invisible floating guns.
Just deciding to kill people with his mind bullets.
Yeah. It's like in Gmod, if anybody had the finger gun, you could get as a mod. And it
Yes,
just one
exactly.
shot people. Yeah.
But it will now see a full buy from the Novas. They have an AWP in the hands of Sammy's, who is posted up on Banana. And he spotted the shoulder of one, but he's unable to land a shot on the other player that does peek him. He's sitting in a Molotov as well, fully flashed. He's going to fully burn. Sammy's fingers toasted and his toes burnt. Does fall, and that's the opening that Loughborough Lions would have appreciated going in towards this B site.
They're not going to be too happy. Smoke goes down around CT, but it seems like it's just baiting utility out. Swings back around towards A. Looking for any picks they can find. And no more will be had, but we might see Nightmare and Banksy play around on this B site.
Seems like they're setting themselves up to at least throw some nades or potentially lurk themselves out towards the A bomb site. And there are two players that they need to find here. Dr. Pessimist and...
Head sticking out, but he will get taken down by Marky. Winning that fight. Banksy, though, will then find Pixel in the open, taking from surprise. Nightmare behind. He's whipping the shots and can't quite find it. It might be the time just to call save. That's what they're doing. Saving the M4s into the next round. Not a lot of money on the CT side. They full bought that round.
It's going to be a hard-fought battle, though. Banksy is hot on their tails. He's keeping them in construction for the most part. So if he's able to find a timing, he might get around two of these players, and see they won't be able to carry those guns if they're dead.
It's definitely
Okay, Dad and Nightmare.
Banksy's about to find Okay Dad. He does win the duel. Goes down very low. They don't find Nightmare. Nightmare might. Yeah, and he's taken down. P250 to the head. Execution style. 4-0 Loughborough Lions. Looking pretty dire for their Salford side.
Because I'm not familiar, it is Trout or Trouto or Trouto?
I know him as Trout, so you can call him Trout.
Okay.
Unless we get told otherwise, I'm going to say it's Trout.
I see. He's from famous French country with the silent O's.
Plateau. If you never heard of Trout, it's spelled with terrible French accent. Anyway, Nightmare getting a bit of damage, tickled a bit by Banksy. Marky takes down OK Dad. Every single round, Loughborough is just managing to find these openings. And it looks like sort of just haven't warmed up at all. They're not finding their shots and they look a bit outclassed at the moment. Sammy's the only one left. With a CZ in hand. He's about to see Trout though. But wobbles.
Yeah, that's good patience on that upper.
Yeah. Lucky not to hit Trout there. Just that was a good setup they had.
Probably wouldn't have minded. Get the kill anyway. Maybe TK your teammate.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, got the kill.
It was really good patience from him, especially considering they kind of took the they ran the numbers. They're like, oh yeah, we killed 3 over towards A. We've killed 1 over towards B, so he has to be beat.
So I know we had 1 all for this work. Let's have 3. Pez finding the first, so it seems to be working. Marky will get taken down. The serial is currently on 8 kills to nothing.
And that's the first real opener we've seen from Nova so far.
Yeah, is Pez finding that kill. See if they can convert that into a round when they desperately need.
Holding a bit of an unconventional angle from Pit with this AWP. You don't typically see Ulfers play from this spot just because you get the added versatility of a rifle. You can sort of jump up and down and maneuver around the pillar, and the ult not quite the same, but it doesn't matter, unconventional or not. He finds another kill onto Trout, and that puts it into a 5 versus 3. Loughborough Lions, they've doubled back. They've lost 2 players over towards that A site, and so they're gonna go towards B instead. Banksy, the one to try and lead the charge, and the serial gets dropped. Now it's all left onto Wobbles. 1 versus 5 with the AWP. Sammy's will use his own, and Wobbles is the last one to fall. Novi's Novas, they get 1 on the board.
And that's one of the things about this side is it's kind of stacked with AWPers. to say the least. OK Dad is I think he's ranked DMG, but I think that's because his rifle's kind of weak, but his AWP is very, very strong. Sammy's said before this game, I want to AWP, I want to have a go at AWPing. So he's been practicing that, and then Pez usually plays secondary AWPer. And that's like first team AWP isn't even playing today. So usually there's like 3 or 4 AWPers on the team. So
I see.
The
So this isn't triple AWP isn't just a random occurrence. It's a tried and refined strategy.
Yeah,
is what you're telling me.
Well, look, if it looks stupid but it works, it's not stupid.
I can appreciate that. It's just very, very expensive.
Very expensive, very unconventional, to say the least. It's not working in that case with Nightmare getting taken down by Banksy. Pez is going to be taken down as well, and it's collapsing, but OK Dad managed to find a return frag.
Actually smoked him.
They always have a player pushing up top of Banana just to catch out the rotation of the CTs. And it's causing havoc. Soft side OK Dad, lovely shot onto Trout. Gets the better of him. 2 versus 3. It might be best just for these AWPers to save their weaponry, but look at
this is definitely still a winnable situation considering the fact that they have no smoke set down on CT and there's a gap in it. Sammy's gonna, the timing doesn't quite work out for him. If he's fast enough, he might be able to find one-on-one engagements here on the B site. Considering the fact that OK Dad has somehow mitigated this lurker over on the A site as well in Banksy. There's potential for this retake to go really, really well for the Novas, but you have to move quickly as the flank is now coming up. Banksy has fully flanked out Sammy's, and now the 1 versus 3. OK Dad is going to reconsider his life choices and go and save him T-spawn.
Saving that AWP, that's the problem with this 3 AWP setup, is proper expensive.
Cheap, they're designer weapons, and fortunately, Novas, they did have a disconnect earlier on, but he's able to reconnect just before the round gets underway. They've got the timeout regardless.
Apparently, his PC is causing a couple problems. We'll see if they can get that resolved and he can jump back in.
Yeah, it's been very, very hot. The amount of, since the heat wave has kind of come over the UK, the amount of crashes that I've seen in game has gone up tenfold, so...
Yeah, I'm not surprised. There's a gig I did with my band, and there's like 30-degree heat wave, it's similar to this. And we're on stage in the middle of the song, and then all the amps just stopped working, because they overheated. You could hear the fans in the back of them go... Like, they were louder than the actual amp.
That's... Yeah. It's... The UK, we're not optimized for
nothing.
This kind of
Tech
weather.
doesn't work in this heat. We don't work in this heat. Nothing works in this heat. It's like the first day we're like, oh, it's glorious, and then after that point, it's just no, we give up. But I think that sums up Britain in a nutshell. It's like when it snows, the whole country just comes to a standstill. It's like one tiny, like 1 inch of snow, and it's like in the news everywhere.
Yeah.
But you know, that's us. We like the weather. It's our favourite pastime, favourite conversational topic. We're back onto the topic of CS, and my weapons have disappeared again.
They're still missing out on one of their players as well, so...
Got to play the bot this round. Serial finding the opening on Pixel.
Have actually fully bought as well, so this is kind of a really awkward situation for the Novas because they're already a man down early on. Yes, they do have the bot, but there's nothing that the bot could have bought into this round that could have benefited them. And as a result, the Novas, they've conceded the B-bomb site in its entirety.
And that's a 3 versus 5 left. OK Dad still has the AWP. But we'll see what can happen. Pez goes aggressive, finds Trout. That'll be an AK handed over. That evens it out, makes it slightly more possible, but they've just given B-bomb site. And look at this positioning from Banksy. He's about to find Pez. Pez predicts it, but it's not.
Yeah, he looks very, very prepared for that.
Banksy has just been lurking all game, sticking to that role and just finding pick after pick after pick. Pixel does manage to sneak past in the bot, but... Oh, bit of a team damage.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So Spixel's found 2 with the P2K. He's actually able to recover that AWP as well, and it's gonna get one more.
Pixel styling with the bot.
Hopefully the bot will release this weapon in the next round, because it would be sad to see the bot go and commit suicide, as bots often do. Well, but bot Don, he seems fisted with it. He's holding on to it.
Right, so sticking to the timeout again, just trying to get Nightmare back in. So for 5 seconds to reference stream. Let's go with my main at uni. There we go.
I see. Is that you composing something?
Yeah, there we go. Just to get it out in the stream announcements, and hopefully something will happen. This is the perfect time for me actually to hit retry to reload again, and hopefully the weapons come back. It's the new weapon skins from the Hazard Crate.
I've seen them, but I haven't spotted one in the wild just yet.
Yeah, I have. I've been seeing it all game. They're the invisible gun skin. It's fantastic. Oh. So when you drop your weapon, the enemies can't see it. It's that camouflaged. Pay to win. That's what Valve just sells. Every single bug in CS, Valve just sells as a...
You could buy the jump bug for £40. Big. Sold out.
Anyway, Bot Don will be playing again, AWP in hand. I'm curious. Let's follow Bot Don.
This is a terrible idea.
Doesn't look like he's going to be doing anything interesting. He's checking his angles. Pro play coming out. Okay, Dad! Finds the first pixel. Sorry, I was getting excited. I was just reading what was on the screen. Finds a headshot. He's just running into the fire.
To be quite honest, I'm surprised Sammys hasn't gone to commit suicide, considering he's invested very little into this round and he could take control of the bot very early on. Instead, Pessimist, who did have a weapon into this, will be the one to take control of that additional player. And just like that, Marky, he's found 2 entries on the B bomb site. Okay, Dad is fast enough on this rotate, but he's going to get smoked off, and that AWP will have no use through that smoke. The opportunity now. If he goes through, he finds the timing and to get Marky, but traded very quickly by Banksy, and he's hiding in the smoke now. He sits on 23 HP. Only 1 bullet from Dr. Pessimist would be enough.
Bot Dr. Pessimist. See if we can make anything happen. Banksy is coming around. You can see him in the right of the screen, checking his angles and looking around. Pez just saw him, so he's got the position. He knows he is not on the bomb. Utility thrown out, and finds them. Pretty expected, to be honest. With the information Pez had, unless he really whiffed the shot, there's no real chance that he's going to lose that. I say that, but I've seen it in the past. It's happened.
Yep, he played it very patient. Both teams were actually very, very patient in how they wanted to approach that 1 versus 1. But yeah, he had the positional advantage tenfold because he never made a step. Nobody had seen him or heard him the entire round, so he could have been anywhere. But that's another round on the board for the Novi's Novas, and hopefully they can chain more than 1 round together. And okay, Dad is definitely pulling that into a bit more of a reality as he gets the opening pick onto Trout.
Thank you, AutoDirect, sticking me on Bot Don. Love having a look at the bot.
He's holding it down in CT spawn, so making sure they don't get flanked.
Pixels trying to shoulder peek. The Serial takes a frag grenade to the shoulder.
Simus could actually flank them out here. He's somehow bypassed this player in middle, and the B bomb site is the one that they're going to go hit the Loughborough lines. They've pushed it past the smoke, and Dr. Pessimist will now spring into action. Gets the first, gets the second. But there's still 1 more player to find, and that's Marky. He was the player in mid that somehow allowed his teammates to get flanked out. It'll try and make this 1 versus 4 work. Gets the first one to Pixel, who took control of the bot earlier on the round. He gets one through the smoke as well. Spotted him just before it bloomed, but still a very, very tough situation. 13 HP. Okay, Dad will just deliver a nade, and Arky will be saying his name.
Yeah, I was just watching all those health bars drop so low for Loughborough, going, how did none of them die there? Because it looked like the Sulphur players who are protecting the B site had the advantage there. They, with the blind, the flash thrown out by the terrorists was mistimed and ended up blinding a lot of their own teammates. But somehow the CTs didn't quite land the shots. But it doesn't matter. Pez managed to somehow get the flank and cleaned up. And so I'll bring it to 7-3. AUG picked up the bot Don. Donny boy. See if he can put that to work.
I think this is likely the most important round for Novi's Nova so far. This is, if they win this round, it forces Loughborough Alliance onto a bit of an eco, or at least a half buy, which allows them to get 1 or 2 more rounds on the board. That, of course, is entirely dependent on them winning this one, and Marky's going to make a case the other direction. He's pulled things into his own hands. He's found an entry onto Pez, and that definitely draws the defense a little bit more thin, considering that you typically want 2 or 3, ideally 3 players on this A-bomb side. There is just the 2 defenders in OK Dad and Pez on the bot.
That's so unfortunate. He whiffs a shot. He can't find anything. Wobbles, takes down Dr. Pez playing the bot. And OK Dad falls to the serial. And Novi's nose is stuck in a pretty treacherous position. You said that was the most important round. It looks like it's not going to go their way. Marky playing from pit. They've got a standard setup. Yeah, CTs just have to save at this point. Their economy, even though they won 2 rounds in a row, still not great. And that's just going to make things worse. Pixel falls. Sammy's just left on his own. AK-47 in hand. Looks like he's going to get hunted down. Ooh. That was just pre-fired shots by Banksy. He doesn't actually know Sammy's is there. But he's bound to. Sammy's wins the trade. Goes for the second. Gets picked off by Wobbles though. So, a little recovery at the end of that round. But not going to be too happy.
Yeah, this is a huge problem as well. The fact that because they're having to deal with a bot, they can't control what the bot does or what it buys. So it's bought itself a P90. And so the economy is going to be not the most consistent for the Novas, to put it lightly. They're going to buy upgraded pistols, but bot Don, he's going to go for an aggressive play. He's pushed all the way down middle by himself through the smoke. That's almost a P90 getting dropped.
See if bot Don can pick up any kills. Go on, bot Don! Go, no, no, he's just going to stand there and get shot. Never mind. Cheers, Valve. Wow, Valve with the phenomenal AI, but OK Dad kind of walking in like a bot there, just running forward, spraying. Got to expect that there might be a play around the corner.
Look how far Pessimist is up as well, though. He's again somehow bypassed these players in middle. He has the potential to get 1 with this 5.7 at long range, but does kind of miss a few of the bullets.
Helps if he doesn't whiff the shot. Pez, what happened? To be fair, in his defense, he is playing on 180 ping. So, because he's
where is Pez?
He's currently in Singapore.
Well, he's playing. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, seeing how he's playing, I don't think it's too bad. So we'll forgive him for that. He did land the first headshot in his defense. So, but he's going for an early peek with the AWP. I don't think anything has come off it. He's been tagged. Doesn't find Marky. Eventually falls. Marky will get the better of him. And kicks with the spring through smoke.
Yeah, the only redeeming factor for this round would have been if they pushed through that smoke, and they have done so, but they've bypassed Pixel as well as that rotating player. This becomes very, very difficult now. Okay, Dad, he will find that flank on that player that did run through CT, but Pixel's fallen on the site. We'll try and get away with this AWP, but will be unsuccessful in doing so. Sammy's just left alone with this CZ, knowing where it all went wrong.
CZ and a dream, 9-3 for Novi's Novas. I think Nightmare isn't able to get back online, so they might be subbing another player in. Rick, if you're watching, your time might be now. You might want to jump on and give our lads a bit of a help. Because at the moment, it's pretty dire. Although, in their defense, seeming they've been playing with a bot, not doing too badly, as I'd have expected.
To be quite honest, having the bot kind of work to their favor. Is that chicken in the floor, if you're watching Simon's perspective?
Yes, it is.
And that chicken's in the floor. Yeah, so, I mean, to be fair, when they've had the bot, the players that took the bot over actually had decent levels of impact with it. So, you saw one round where Pixel took the bot and he found 2 kills with the P2K, got the AWP, carried that over into the next round. And we saw another one where Pessimist took the bot and he won the 1 versus 1, where, as well as like a time where he flanked out the B bomb site. So it's definitely had a level of impact. Obviously, they'd still prefer a real player, but at least making it work in the most unlikely of ways.
Doesn't want to come out. Great
Trying to
idea.
go full max pain.
The execution doesn't quite come out. Sammy's trying to reposition. Get over the smoke, Banksy. Looks like going to enter into A, but no CTs will be there. Bot is picked up by Pixel, has an AUG, no armor. Very intelligent buy, but Sammy's takes down the Serial. Wobbles. Looks a bit confused. Smoke misses. Catches the corner of the building. They not choosing to plant A. They think that because A is completely open, they're checking all the corners. They're like, is there a CT just waiting somewhere? But no, there's a full stack onto B. It looks like they might be saving, but it makes no sense for OKDad to save, really. So, I'm not really sure.
Should be able to recover that weapon that's dropped top banana. Yeah, he's able to get an AWP out of that.
Okay, so that's worth. Okay, that's understandable. So they should be retreating back. But Wobbles, 16 HP with an AWP. Finds Pixel, but that's the bot, so they won't be too worried about that. Not a great issue losing that. Just pistol him, please. And now they're about to get hunted down by Loughborough Lions. But it doesn't quite finish. Okay, that's the... This is going into the final round and a half. Double up setup. M4, and there should be enough for Pessimist to buy as well. So we'll be...
Call 8 timeouts in this, or is it only 4?
I think it's only 4 timeouts.
Yeah, because they're shorter than traditional timeouts by about half.
Yeah,
the timeouts are only 30 seconds this?
Yeah. 30 seconds. So... Ooh, Pez finding the opening kill. That makes a change for Novi's Novas. 4 versus 5 now. I mean, it sounds a bit stupid, but when they do tend to get the opening, like, it's not that they just win, but they play. It's like they play better. I say that Pixel gets caught out in the open. Tries to go for a duel, he can't exactly win. Doesn't quite work out from Sammy's court as well. The Serial just making mincemeat of Salford, but Pez once again finds a flank, pushes through and finds the bomb. That information will be reeled back. OKDad as well, picking up Trout. And that's a 3 versus 1, and they'll close out 11-4, assuming they have a bot. That's not terrible, actually.
That round was fully recovered, yeah. They lost. There was initially the pick for Novi's Novas, but both players on the B bomb site not getting a single kill, and then the A rotations came out and they swept up. They got all 4 that they needed, and yeah, they've definitely done well to recover that round and bring it to a 4-11 scoreline.
I think there's this.
But can they do this on the T side?
Yeah, that's. I think they'll play better on the T side, but again, having the bot is a huge disadvantage.
You see they're using the hold position command. He's just going to sit and spawn and.
Yeah, it's not the bot's not as useful as it is on CT side. At least CT you can leave it and spawn and it can just rotate to a site and maybe help defend. On T side, if you've got the whole team like rushing or entering somewhere, It's a bit difficult if the bot's the other side of the map, just sitting in spawn. But it looks like it'll be a B rush. Flash comes out, doesn't flash. Banksy taking one head, goes for the second, does find Pez. 3 versus 5 and is falling apart for the Salford side. Bot is picked up and is on the rotation. Sammy's is hunting for wobbles. We'll take him after taking quite a lot of damage. Pixel falls as well. 2 versus 4. Probably amount of players to go through. Sammy's is just tanking bullets. 7 HP left, 1 bullet. He will die. Eventually gets taken down as well. And it's just okay, Dad. Finds the headshot. Can he find a second? He does find a second, but eventually falls with a knife for Doppler. Oh no, it's Marky picking up the kill. I think Marky's got them on bayonet, I want to say. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
He has a bayonet. Thank you, Autodirect. You somehow listened to me and then just switched to Marky. Thank you. Thank you kindly.
Who knows when you're interested in the knife?
Yeah, as soon as Gabe Newell's just sitting there and goes, knife? Let me just press a button, and it's like, it's just labelled good Autodirect. And he pressed it, and now he's going to switch it back again. I have a theory, just like before we get into this round, I have a theory that players play better on bots. And as I say that, Sammy's kind of walks up, gets taken out by Trout. Bot Don falls as well. Pez as well. This M4 XM, sorry, is going to pick up so much cash for Trout. Banksy again trying to flank, but not as successful through Banana. So 2 versus 4. They should try and go and pick up that weapon, really. They got the time, but I don't think they know that the CTs have rotated round.
Inferno is definitely one of the best kind of shotgun maps in the pool, I think. See varied results on maps like Train, and I think Nuke as well is a very good one, but the long-range engagements at different points of the map are what kind of set them back. They have made their way onto this B bomb site, Novi's Novas, and they're able to isolate this player on new box, but not landing the shots. That'll be to their detriment. Pixel's left all alone in a 1 versus 4, and he's going to get sandwiched. They're going to go for the knife again, and because Pixel is out of ammo, he's able to get it. It's not a good look.
It's pretty tragic. Pixel, unlucky there, but nice try. Bot Don is still there. Galil this time. Yes, as I was saying, I think some players play better when they're on bots because they care less.
It's like nothing to lose, right?
Yeah, because they don't have to protect the economy, so you can kind of go for risky plays. Oh, we saw Pixel just going for it with the bot earlier and getting a 3k at the end of the round. Pez does take the head. That's quite impressive. Okay, done with the 1D. They're hitting like some really impressive shots. I think it's just not... It's the consistency as well, which doesn't help. It's sometimes the aim's there, sometimes it's not. Trout caught out, looking the wrong way, and it's a 4 versus 2. Remember, the bot's been picked up as well. So this is very doable for the Salford side. Banksy's starting to rotate now, so he will be there for when the T's execute. Very little utility, only a Molotov. Any of the players, and that's the Sammys, but okay, Dad finds Banksy. And then finds Marky as well. Shuts him down. 5-13. Still a long way to go. But looking a bit more promising. They haven't given up yet.
I think you pointed out Trout as the man to look out for, but he seems to be falling a bit short.
Yeah, he's pretty passive. It's actually Marky. Shout out to Marky. I've played with him a couple of times. Very, very solid player. But doing very well this game. Having a really solid game. Also, I think Banksy's been really impressive as well. The flanks he's been finding and his patience as a lurker is just very commendable, I think.
Yeah, on the T side, he's definitely very, like, a huge thorn in the side of Novi's when they try to get those rotations in. But left for Lions, they found an entry on Trout. Called him out. He's found a frag. Marky gets one as well onto OK Dad, and that's a 5 versus 3 now. Novi's have to pick up the pieces as the clock is dropped. We'll have Pessimist move back over, and Pixel's fallen in the meantime.
13-5. 3 rounds left for the Lions to win it. And it looks like it's going to go that way. At least going to get the next round. Sammys and Pez stuck in an increasingly difficult position, but that eases the pressure a little bit. With Marky being taken down, who's having, as we've said, a very good game. But he's not the only one on that Loughborough side, which is looking good. Sorry, still got Banksy and the Serial to deal with. You can't count out Trout either. He's I think backed off and he's gone towards Pit, so he's playing from that position. Pez does have the utility gets tagged a bit, managed to find his way back out, but Serial does peek him. Peek his advantage, takes down Pez, and then Sammy's with the bot is left in at 1 versus 4. He is on the bot.
10 seconds, so.
Doesn't quite manage to convert the first shot into a confident spray.
Yeah, I think even if they found those entries there, it would have been really hard for Novi's to win out that round, considering they've rotated an additional player over towards the A site. They only had, I think, Wobbles sitting top banana, or it was Wobbles that was sitting top banana, just sat behind sandbags, waiting for them to come up towards B, and that obviously never happened. So
I've just done something rather stupid that I didn't realise. So I have my phone on in front of me, so I can read Twitch chat and everything, and make sure all the stream's working while we're in game. And I was actually on my data, not Wi-Fi. So 80% of my data has gone.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful, you know. Yay me! I'm a professional, by the way.
That's really unlucky.
This is literally every stream. The last like 5 streams I've done, there's been like 1 or 2 things which have just gone terribly wrong. Like, but it happens.
Yeah, if things never go wrong, when things go wrong, you won't know how to react to them.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. It's practice. It's practice for the big leagues. Novi's, we said, once they get an entry, they sort of come alive, they come a lot more energetic and start playmaking a lot. Not just the advantage of having the man advantage, but especially when they're an inferior weapon, they still manage to find it. Pez jumping down, good timing. It seems to be a lot of time they're peeking when they're trying to peek corners and everything. They just seem, oh, jump shot by Pixel, very nice. They just seem a lot more confident. When they've got that opening kill, they suddenly start communicating a lot better as a team, it seems. Okay, Dad picking up Wobbles. Making sure they're setting up crossfires first. Serial finds Okay, Dad, and will be able to save the AWP. I don't know if... Have they got the economy for it? I mean, not really, but it might be worth trying to chase it down and picking it back up. At least protecting their economy a bit, going into the future, and maybe put it on Okay, Dad, and they will find him.
They're able to recover the AWP as well. Unfortunately, they're not able to trade out the scout that Pixel has, but
Scout OP.
at least nice for them to have that the one-shot rifle on their side.
Will be thrown to Kessler, playing very well. Top fragging for the Salford side.
Loughborough are playing it smart here, though. They have more than enough money to have forced up into this round and had a somewhat lackluster buy, but instead they're going for a bit more of a measured approach. They're doing the half buy to 2k so that they can get a full buy in the next round.
I was about to say
Found 2 in the meantime on a spray down.
I was saying that's very unfortunate for Okay, Dad. Because he did tag the scout player, but Pixel comes out with 2. Pez, though, tries to push into apps and gets taken down by Trout. 3 versus 3. Okay, Dad on the bot. Sammy's AK and utility still left. No flashes left for the T side. The CTs have nothing left to slow down pushes. You can go for a large buy, as you said. But Banksy finds Pixel. These CZs are really doing work for the Loughborough side. And that might be another weapon picked up. Yes, it is. Banksy picks up the AWP. So 2 versus 3. AK's into quite a horrible position to go into. B is, I feel exceptionally difficult to push into, especially when there's AWP trained on that angle, especially with no flashes. These with smoke, they can cover CT. They've got the rotation. That's a wonderful first shot, brings them down to 11 HP.
Narrowly avoids death. Banksy is going to be lucky to be getting away from that situation altogether. Sits on 11 HP still, so he can still have impact with his AWP, and there's still 3 players to find on the CT side. Okay, Dad gets dispatched by Trout, and now it's just Sammy's sitting in pit. He's calmly waiting. He gets the first kill into Trout, spins around, finishes off Serial, but now it's just Banksy and Sammy's in a 1 versus 1. Open hand of Banksy. And Sammy's, he could do this. He could get the 1v3. He successfully converts. Novi's Novas, they get another round on the board. Sammy's playing extremely well for that 1 versus 3.
Sammy's going absolutely massive. Would you believe me if I tell you that I think Sammy's has only really been playing seriously for the past 4 months. I think he picked up the game relatively recently, within this year. So the level he's playing at for someone so new to the game is phenomenal. Sometimes it can be a bit of a downfall. Some maps he lacks a bit of knowledge, but he certainly mechanically is getting there. And he's improving all the time.
And more power to him.
Yeah, a lot of these Loughborough players that are very experienced, know their timings really well, is causing absolute havoc for the Novi's Novas. My Novas. My little Novas getting papoosed by the line, just falling on them. Sammy's doesn't quite convert it onto Marky, only taking 34 damage. Backing off Novi's Novas. Is he going back for the bomb, or is he going... I think he's going back for the bomb, so it's not... I was going to say, it's a bit late in the game to start saving at rounds like this, but he might opt to and just play for overtime. Economy's
as much as I'd like to think that they'd be able to pull things back, I think if they lose this round and both these players die, then that's the nail in the coffin, because they'll have been reset. They have no money to work with. They'd be able to buy CZs, Deagles, but it wouldn't really be enough, surely, to take down the lines on the amount of money that they're currently sitting on.
Yeah, and after Sammy's fantastic 1 versus 3 clutch, it looks like it's not going to be enough. We're playing very patiently. They know that 1 player is left. They're playing it slow, letting him make the first move. He was smoke. Oh, I thought the no-scope was going to land. He tries to flash himself out, but it doesn't quite work. That would have been a fantastic play to watch if it worked, but sadly the RNG shot was not with him. Not a lot of money at all for the T side. As you said, they got reset. 1 AK, CZ, Desert Eagle for OKDad, who has been making it work. P250 for Pessimist. And this might be the final round for Novi's Novas this game.
To be an individual play from somebody. Someone needs to make a play, someone needs to step up, and it doesn't seem like that's the case just yet. They're going to go for a bit of a late B-rush, and it's going to work out wonders so far. Pixel the first one to get the frag, and they're going to actually get both of these kills for free. Nobody taking really much damage on the side of Salford. Allows them to get onto this B-bomb site. They've recovered those weapons as well. Now we're going to get into an afterplant 5 versus 3 in favor of the Salford. Then 1 more in the exchange. 1 for 1, but still a 4 versus 2. They're spraying through the smoke aggressively, but Pessimist, he's found it through the smoke. Marking a full. And Trout, he's going to try to do his best 1 versus 4. But surely not. Surely he doesn't have tenacity to pull this one through. He spins around, gets OKDad, brings it to a 1v1, but Abby's finally closes things down. And that got close.
Yeah, that got very close. Trout suddenly came alive there. Didn't quite manage to make it work. Falls to Sammy in the end. That was almost the perfect round for Salford until that end bit, where they lost all the weapons they'd just picked up. So, but I think they'll be happy just getting the round. 15-8. Bot Don with the AK. Actually using a conventional buy this time. Loughborough with the discipline not to force buy, which I like. Going to rush at them. Actually picking up a lot of players. 2 versus 3 now. They've still pushed through.
This is 100% still winnable for the Loughborough Lions as well, because Banksy's gone into the T apartments and he's sitting right on top of OKDad. He's going to find that kill as a result. He's not going to be pre-aiming that angle, OKDad, but the B-bomb site is fully open, and Novi's Novas, they've recognized this. They're going towards that site. They're going to get the bomb down. But it doesn't mean that the Loughborough Lions, they can recover those weapons that were dropped in second middle.
And that would definitely mean a full buy for the Loughborough Lions next round, and they'll hope to shut down this, don't know if you can call it a comeback, but definitely this new life in Novi's Novas. Or they're going to go for it. I suppose it makes sense they can go for it because they're going to buy next round anyway. Just means they won't have the AKs. They're coming very late. Pixel might be dying here anyway with his position. He's not going to get out alive. And run straight into Trout. They don't have kits. They're going to have to back off. And they will be able to save the AKs and remove one from the side. That being said, Banksy does get blown up. Gets a bit of shrapnel on the back as he's trying to run out. Not a huge amount of money, so...
Yeah, I'm surprised they actually... I mean, I appreciate their play, where they wanted to contain the Salford side in the bomb site, but losing that weapon on Banksy is not worth it there. They could have had a bit more utility on a player like Serial, should they have been able to drop that over, but instead, they lose out on that free weapon. Regardless, they'll all have M4s, AKs across the board for the Salford side as well, and OK Dad's on the AWP as well.
It's also, they really don't need this many kits, as well as they don't need head armor at this point anyway. They know that the Salford side is going to fall by and will most likely have AKs, and they're not going to have anything which is going to be able to tank the first bullet. So, kind of waste of money here. But it's not putting off Trout, who was the only player on the team who didn't buy head armor. Save that money, full utility. Novi's Novi. B-side gets caught out by Banksy. Will get traded back, but Wobbles is on the booster position, finds two, and that's just OK Dad. Left in a 1 versus 4 situation. Does find Marky. And this is for the game. Has to try and bring this back. Here's what stands between Novi's Novas and defeat, but it might look like he's about to get killed in the back by Trout. Assassinated. And that'll be the game. 16-9. Very well played, even though it's 4 versus 5, but Loughborough Lions look very strong, very disciplined, and terrifying force to go against.
Yeah, they're almost all sitting on 20 frags, so not only did they play well together as a team, but they also made sure that everyone got involved, and the same cannot be said for the opposing side. But it's hard to do. It's hard to make that comeback and hard to make it a reality when you've only got 4 players on your team. Contributed very little to most of the rounds of the game, so
it looks like they can't actually find a 5th player to play at the moment, which might mean I have to play. That's not going to be fun. I mean,
player perspective stream. That's what I would love to see.
You really don't. All right, I'm gonna just quickly jump in and have a chat to them and see if we can sort this out. So I'll just mute the stream quick and stick it over to be right back. There we go. And then yeah, we'll be right back in a second.